Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good,
This is Justin.
good morning, Justin and Summer. Oh, wait a minute. That's not Summer. What's your name?
My name's Penny Little.
Penny Little.
I'm summer
I'm sorry.
solstice right now, apparently. There it is. It says so.
Yeah, it says Summer Solstice
It
right
says
there
I'm
on your.
summer.
That's right. You've been given a new name, and the courts will allow it. You can change your name. I like your hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Nice, nice beret.
I have a fondness for hats.
Uh, as do I.
I'm going to turn off my phone. It rings incessantly and it's gone. Oh, I love your hat.
Well, thank you very much.
I have a couple of cowboyish hats, cowgirlish hats.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, well, and I have to take it off because. Let's see here. What am I doing? Okay. I don't think that's gonna work. I have to undo that and move it back over. Oh man. Okay. All right. Elizabeth should be rambling in here pretty soon.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. What are you going to talk about today? Well, obviously the summer solstice, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
We're having a
Hmm.
party this weekend. It's a soiree and art auction.
Fundraiser.
And of course, we want to talk about the workshop and the festival and the parade.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the organization in general. You know, the history of it, its cultural tradition here in Santa Barbara, its importance in our community, and our plans for the future.
Just out of curiosity, is there any connection? I would think there might be to the events of 1969.
Which
Yes.
events were those?
What are we referring to?
We're talking about the beginnings of the environmental movement.
Not
Started
necess-
right here in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, not necessarily. That's the birth of Earth Day.
Indirectly connected.
Indirectly connected, we share the same festival grounds, which is
Mhm.
Alameda Park.
Sure.
And as of this year, and I hope she's able to join us, but she may not, is we now share the same festival director as that event here in town,
Cool.
Olivia Sorgman.
And the only reason I bring it up is because obviously the one aspect of the solstice parade is that there is a what's the term?
We repurpose
You
things.
you
Recycle.
cannot have a motorized float.
Right.
It must be human powered.
People powered, as we say.
There
Yes.
you go.
People created, people powered.
And thank goodness that we don't have to worry about potentials of exploding lithium batteries. Well, electric vehicles is,
Right, there's that. Yeah. Well,
Not gonna let
there
you-
is, we won't talk about the
No.
lithium.
I'm just,
But yes, and we also recycle and repurpose. A lot of what we do is recycle and repurpose materials. Some of the costumers and people are
Yeah.
making things strictly out of things that came out of the trash, basically.
are you still doing the basic construction at that same location off of Garden Street?
Yes, the Community Arts Workshop.
I've driven by there a few times, and I've often wanted to walk in there just to see what was going on. And it's like, man, you got people milling around there and just doing what they're doing. It's actually kind of cool to watch.
What? Actually, that's a good question. Penny, so I know it. What is our actual Instagram handle?
SB Summer Solstice, I think. Let me just double check that. I'll have that all up here.
Okay. Oh, there she is now.
Okay, is Olivia joining us, or is that Elizabeth?
This is Elizabeth right now. She is on her way in. Yes, she is.
Great.
And let's put her right there. There we go. Yeah, I'll let you know when. Oh, my back. Olivia.
Summer Solstice SB.
Yeah.
.org?
Yeah. No,
That's the
the
Instagram.
Instagram.
Okay, there we go. Hello, Elizabeth. All right, and then, oh my goodness, Olivia Newton-John. I mean, no. I mean, the other Olivia is coming on board.
Great.
Yay, I'm happy.
Her in. She knew the password, so I let her. I said, okay, you can come in. All right, very good. Oh, I know what I need to check real quickly here because I didn't see anything. And where are we at on this? Oh, that's right. I had to cancel that. Doggone it. Zoom. Let's hit that. I know it's going to be a little late. There. There. What is this? Who is? I know there's somebody. Who is this? Hi, Richard. Thank you for contacting. Yes, I know. I gotta touch base with you. Let's see if we got anything here. No, it does not look like it. All right, 5 reviews after. Yeah, I know. Just leave me alone. There we go. All right, Elizabeth, are you there? We neither see nor hear you.
Okay, how's that?
Oh my Lord, you're coming through loud and clear. Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay,
Sound
and
great.
my video isn't working, so that's I don't know what's
okay,
going on, but maybe
that's
I'll turn it all off during the break or something and see what
Give it a
happens.
shot. Sure. And your guests are here,
Yeah.
all three of them.
And any music will do, but something fun, festive.
All right, let me see what I can find.
Okay.
I don't like fun and festive. It's all so
Something dirgy and
so
depressing.
so pedantic.
So Richard, at 10:30 or so, we have somebody coming in just to talk to us quickly about the
Imadanari. Okay, go ahead.
Elizabeth, I just emailed you my bio as well.
Okay, and I looked you up online too, so I think I've got you, Justin.
Uh-oh.
Olivia and Penny will introduce herself. Anyway, so someone will be in the waiting room. Kai Tepper is her name at 10:30. So and we'll let her, just come in and talk to us for like 10 minutes about the festival there, the Chalk Festival, and
well, already.
And then we'll come back to what's
all
at
right.
hand.
If we have to, all right.
What is our total? How long are we going on this interview?
So this is till like 10:50, yeah, 10:50,
Okay.
10:55, something like that, Justin.
Well, I hope we could be that interesting for that long.
Oh, I guarantee you will. We will ask you questions you've never thought of. Right, Elizabeth?
Well,
where were you on the night of the 23rd?
Exactly.
We'll grill you. All right, there we go. Let's see. What am I doing? I need to split. Yeah, I do. I need to split this. Okay, that'll actually work if those are all connected. Hallelujah, they are. Okay. All right, move that over. Hopefully it'll move. Oh, try grabbing it again. Okay, I wonder if I have. Sorry, guys. I do talk to myself a lot.
That's okay. People who will deal with technology do that a lot.
I do it all the time.
Got about 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes. Yeah, the only problem is I've gotten into multiple fights, fired myself 3-4 times, and then of course had to acquiesce and rehire myself. But then I had to pay severance those 3 times that I fired myself, so it got really expensive.
As long as you also forgive yourself.
Well, that's a harder one to come by. All right, Elizabeth, let's see what we can find here. Okay, that is not here, so we will close that and we will seek out festive music.
So I just got Justin's bio that he sent me, and it's very different from what I found. So what I'll combine the two, Justin, if that's okay with you.
Sure
And
thing.
Olivia, I had no idea. So my favorite festival in the entire universe is the Orchid Festival, and I had no idea that that was you.
Yeah, I was on with
That is
Lisa Cullen from Garden Gossip back in February or March.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a beautiful one. It's like, I don't think there's anywhere else like that. I mean, maybe the Chelsea Garden Show where you walk in and be immersed.
Yeah. So my son's father, my ex-husband, he married, let's see, I was number one and he number two, he divorced, but she's now number six. He
Oh,
remarried the second one. And she's an orchid lover. And so I invited them down, or up, I should say, from San Diego to see your show. And so that was, it was kind of an interesting experience to see.
did you see the
but
bird?
huh?
Did you see the birds this year?
Yeah.
I think I terrified the board by putting real birds in the middle of the show.
I think this was the best show ever, I think.
Oh, thank
this
you.
year's. Yeah.
All right, folks,
Yeah.
stand by. And 8, 9, and here we go.
Welcome to the Arts and Antique Radio Show, where your host, nationally recognized certified appraiser Elizabeth Stewart, Santa Barbara's treasure sleuth, will help you put a value on the treasures in your own home.
Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven?
So
All right,
let's find
in
out
3,
how
2,
valuable is it?
1, you are live.
Hello, 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 Santa Barbara. It's your chantress of everything valuable and beautiful, Elizabeth Stewart. And every year I try to get Penny Little on the air to join us to talk about Solstice and the events coming up. And this weekend, if you're listening, and it's Friday this weekend,
Let's started.
there is a very special fundraiser, which I gathered some of the board folks to talk to us about. And I want to introduce, of course, Solstice. Gosh, Penny, about 20 years ago, I came to Santa Barbara and I was sitting in the at the athletic club in the hot tub, and this very respectable banker was in the hot tub with me, and he said, "Yes, I'm the bank manager at such and such a bank, and we are gearing up. You're just in time, just moved here
On
just
my
in time
computer.
to join us for Solstice." And I said, "Well, what is that?" And he said, "Well, it's people dress up." And I said, "Well, what are you going to do? What's your costume?" And well, I've got a group of people, and we're going to be painted blue, and we have little blue G strings, and we're going to march down, and we're going to have this certain dance. And I looked at him and I thought, "You're a bank manager. What's going on here? What is this town all about?" And he said, "Yeah, it's," and I said, I'm not sure I understand you. You're talking about quite a outre behavior in the middle of the street." And he said, "Well, it's the one day that we let our hair down completely, and everybody, their exotic artist, creative type comes out." And I didn't believe him, so I signed up to do the workshop. And I don't know, Penny, if you remember John Paul, he was in a wheelchair, and he was always in Solstice for years and years. And he's he's paralyzed, and he could kind of hold a pencil in his mouth. And I was assigned to help design a float that year. And it became such an incredible experience for me that I've always loved Solstice. And recently came across, I'm an appraiser, recently did an appraisal for someone who was on the board for a long, long time who had passed away. And he had a collection of every poster. you know, it was so interesting to think about all of the years. Anyway, I have Penny with us, and we talked about Penny. I have also Olivia Sorgman with us. She's this year's Summer Solstice Celebration Festival Director. How did you can imagine my shock when I looked at her bio. She's an expert in event planning and management, and she's done the California Avocado Festival in Carpinteria, Earth Day, and I love this one, the Santa Barbara International Orchid Show. And she's writes me with a passion for community and creativity. She curates unforgettable experience for sure. That is true. That celebrate art, nature, and culture. I also have with us Justin Gunn, and I gotta say, I've seen the bikes. You have seen the bikes. If you live here in Santa Barbara, you've seen them too. This is Justin. Now, okay, so he is the poster child for this dichotomy. So we've got the businessman, accomplished, cultural leader, and we have the nutty sort of free spirit, all in one package. And I'll tell you why. Okay, Justin is an artist specializing in bicycle-based kinetic art. He came to Santa Barbara 8 years ago. He found his tribe, just like I did 20 years ago, in the workshop for the Solstice Parade. He joined the board in 2023 and has served as president and board chair since 2024. He lives downtown near the Solstice Festival location at Alameda Park. And I often see him, and you often see him, dear listener, riding around downtown Santa Barbara on one of his fanciful art bikes. You've maybe seen the rocket ship. You've maybe seen the giant sea serpent. What else? I've seen a couple of other iterations, Justin. What else? What else?
I've got a horseless carriage. We've got a fuzzy bunny rabbit.
I've seen the bunny rabbit. Yep.
Yep. And we've got a little crew that's continuing to grow, and we're building new things at our own little workshop. We've got a little VW bus that's currently in progress. We've got a crew of little tiny art car merrymakers and growing.
And did you do, there was a one solstice one year, maybe it was before you moved here, there was a giant kind of, what did they call it? I'm
Are we thinking of a giant tricycle?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that was actually a friend of mine, a local bicycle maker, Rex Stevens. And Rex is kind of a legend in Santa Barbara in this sort of Santa Barbara cruiser bike scene. He builds old Santa Barbara style cruiser bikes, which were sort of early versions of mountain bike technology married to beach cruisers. And it's a very unique style that's very kind of unique to kind of California coastal communities. And Santa Barbara was a real hub of that. And Rex is a great fabricator and also an artist. And he built this ginormous tricycle. It was actually my first solstice in 2017. It was is when he debuted it. And yeah, we have a lot of, we have a real rich bicycle culture here in Santa Barbara. So it was a perfect place for me to land 8 years ago, just over 8 years ago. And so many creative people. It's wonderful to see what people make.
What was that style that Rex did? It's like Industrial Revolution style.
Well, Santa Barbara Cruisers is kind of the style of the bikes that you'll see around town. There's lots of different groups that do it, like the 805 Chromies. They wear all black. They look a little menacing, but I swear to God, they're the sweetest group of people, and they do rides for charity. And then the very aptly named Santa Barbara Legends. These are guys that grew up here in Santa Barbara and rode BMX in the 70s. And really kind of led that charge of that style. And you'll see these guys still, well into their 60s out there, biking all the time, raising money for charities, and still popping wheelies.
John, yeah, come over here. I want my partner just to join us for a minute because he's a bike person. So John Flandrick is my partner. He's actually on bike number 4 or 5, he's invented a way to take BMX frames, 2-wheelers, and turn them into 3-wheelers with suspension to each wheel.
Well, that hasn't, I'm in the process of doing.
Can you hear him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's it. So Justin, he's the person that rides around town on the bikes that he invents, and he's got the buddy bike, he's got the rocket ship bike. I've seen him around the park.
Cool.
And now he's building for Solstice. He's building, I don't know if you remember the giant trike. That was Rex. That's his buddy Rex.
Yeah.
That do you remember it?
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, I just thought I'd.
Hello.
So John's got a garage full of these three-wheelers that he invents, and he can do wheelies on those too. And he's not a spring chicken either.
That's right.
So he was talking about the groups, the 805 Chromies and the Santa Barbara Legends. They do the BMX. They're the older guys that do. They've ridden in the BMX. They've ridden BMX, and now they're clubs. And so Justin is putting together. So what's the project for Solstice, Justin? Tell us.
Well, I got to tell you, as an artist, when I first came here to town, I found it's funny. I moved up here to be close to my family and to my now late mother, and I didn't really know that much about Santa Barbara. And so, I did the first logical thing, which is I went on Wikipedia and I said, well, let's learn all about Santa Barbara. Let's start here. And one of the entries that I saw was for the Santa Barbara Summer Solstice celebration, and I said, what is this? This sounds like my people. And I immediately went, as soon as the workshop opened up, I went down to the workshop and I was just blown away with the level of artistry, the sense of community that takes place down there. I've been going to the Burning Man Festival since 1999, and so I'm not new to artistic communities and places where people from all walks of life come together to create together and form spontaneous community around hands-on participation in the arts. And I was so blown away because everybody makes a big mucky muck about Burning Man, but Burning Man was started on a beach in 1986. Well, here Solstice has been going on since 1974, and like that Burning Man festival, they make a big deal about, well, it's the largest decommodified arts event. Decommodified, kind of a made-up word that basically means that there's no advertising, right? There's no marketing, and that's one of the things that makes Solstice so special and so unique and different from other parades where you see, in addition to it being people powered, we don't have, pickup trucks with people waving in the back, sponsored by, your local bank. It's really all about artistic expression. It's all about joy and color and music and performance and dance and celebration. And it's very, very unique in that way.
What is your bike project, though? That's what I'm interested in.
That's what I was getting at. Well, I've got this sea serpent that I've been working on for a few years, and my hope is that I can get it finished in time for this solstice. But my personal role with Solstice has evolved over the years. When I first went down to that workshop, my intention was, hey, I'm an artist. I've got skills. Maybe I can lend a hand. But I quickly realized that, in a former life, I'd spent about 30 years in the television business, doing news, documentary, and television production. And I realized that there was a story here that hadn't really been told that I could find. And this workshop was so filled with so many amazing characters and so many talents. And I was just drawn to the idea of wanting to share that story with others. And so my first project with Solstice, in addition to jumping on my rocket ship and making a spaceman costume and being in that first parade in 2017 for me, I shot down at the workshop. I interviewed people, and I made a documentary called A Solstice in Santa Barbara, which if you search Vimeo, you can find it. But when it entered it into the Santa Barbara International Film Festival, and it really kind of started my journey less as an artist at Solstice and more as a fan and a champion of the organization. And so that led to me joining the board a couple years ago. And then earlier in the beginning of 2024, I took the position of board president. And so really my project for Solstice is it's an unseen role, and it's less creative and artistic. But the one thing that I think I love as much, if not more, than creating art is empowering artists and helping them be creative. It's just something that's always appealed to me. And that's the role that I take on here. And I get to work with incredibly talented people like Penny Little, our executive director, and now Olivia Sorgman, our festival director. Just everybody in the organization shares that spirit of, we're bringing the community together, we're giving them the tools, we're giving them the space, and we're giving them the encouragement to feel comfortable to come out and be themselves, express themselves, and form community with people that they otherwise may have never met here in Santa Barbara.
So remember I was saying that Justin is the poster child for the dual Jekyll Hyde personality type of Santa Barbara creative. So just a little background. He's an Emmy Award winner, by the way, and he's
Emmy nominated.
Emmy nominated, okay, producer. He's got 20 years experience in the areas of news, information, and entertainment. Inside Edition, CNET, Extra, Current TV. He's a one-man band proficient in all aspects of television production, shooting, editing, writing, producing, executive producing, network programming. He spent 5 years at Current TV as a producer and executive, responsible for launching and managing the user-generated content division, the online programming web syndication department, online editorial unit, and
oh
the
goodness,
current
we don't need to do the whole darn resume.
Oh my, well, I'm just finishing up here because the current news team in the US and UK, hourly news update on Current TV, etc. And his company is Justin Gunn Productions, but as we know, he's also the board chair for Solstice. He's explained that to us so well. He's been in the industry since 1992, although I'm looking at your video. You don't look like you have, by the way.
I started young.
Yeah, you started young. And by the way, I see that we've got EJ. Is that possibly?
I'm
EJ?
I'm waiting to make my big entrance.
Okay, that's Emma Jane. Is that Emma Jane?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, I thought that might be you. Okay, so Emma Jane. Also, she is the mask master and prop and puppet master for the parade, and so glad you could join us. And Penny, tell us a little bit about EJ.
Oh, well, I don't know. She's just so great. She's developed the mask, prop, and puppet department. And so she's there to help people find their vision, help them make the mask that they want to be, get in touch with who they really are deep down and what they want to express in the parade. She's also great with movement and theater. I think she should talk more about what's in the mask department and what she likes to do.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you, I have to say that the masking goes back to early Greek theater.
Yeah.
It is it was the term for in Greek was persona. The mask was the persona, and of course, depth psychology picked that up.
Yeah.
And mask is both you and not you, and is the deepest part of you in the history of masking. Yeah.
Yes, that's so
EJ?
true. So true.
Yeah.
Beautifully put, actually. That's really an eloquent way of describing the magic of wearing a mask. We get a lot of people who come into the workshop with a wonderful idea, and then they suddenly confronted with the idea of, oh, I'm going to be in public. People are going to be looking at me. And that can intimidate a lot of people. So wonderful to then introduce them to the concept of a mask, either a full face mask or a half mask. They can hide and yet be themselves, as you just said. They can show emotion and yet be themselves. So it's a wonderful way to tell a story. A mask, in a way, is another prop.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can remember my first solstice probably 20 years ago or so. I think the theme was angels and devils.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, do you remember that, Penny? Do you remember?
No, I don't. I don't think I was there.
Yeah, so the angels and devils, and that was the theme. And so the head of our float decided that I was good, and I am nowhere near a bombshell, but he decided that I was going to be in latex and I was going to be a dominatrix.
Oh, good.
And which is not, that's not my personality at all. But that's what he decided. And so I forget who was the mask master at the time, but at any rate, she had a mask made for me that was red latex, and it was like it was amazing. I felt
Yeah.
so great in that. And
Yes.
yeah, so yeah, I can relate. I can relate.
Yeah.
How did you learn your trade?
I literally learned it on the fly. I'm really a theatre artist. I started out as an actor, became a director and a playwright. But along the way, I would need things, and we never had any money, so I would have to make them myself. I lucked out. I married a very good artist. So I've learned a lot of my stuff from just snooping around his workshop, watching him work and learning. And that's what I'm trying to tell people when they come into the mask and puppet room. They'll have an idea. I don't know the answer, but together we'll grab things off the shelf. We have recyclable materials ad nauseam. There is no end to the recycling that we have. So we pull things out. Will this yogurt pot make a crown? No, but if we cut it up and add cardboard and paper mache, maybe that will work. We literally figure it out together. And my job is really just acting like a key. I'm like the key to this can of sardines, opening slowly up the imagination. And before I know it, the person I'm talking to has already gone off on their own and their creative journey's begun. I'm just like the person who gives you the ticket at the beginning of the journey, makes it happen. So it's a really exciting thing to see.
So, there's been so many fabulous masks over the years. I mean, I'm just in my mind, I'm seeing a bunch of them come down the street.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, this year, EJ, this year, is there a mask that you're helping make that really stands out this year?
Yes, a couple already. It's somewhat early days at the workshop, and people are coming in with their little seeds of ideas. I have somebody who wants to make the most incredible seahorse mask that's going to be on his head, and he'll be riding it high on his head. So watch out for a seahorse mask. And I'm also creating an ensemble of models. We are creating a big runway. Every block is going to be a different runway. And a lot of the models are going to have masks that are a sort of parody, in a way, of models. These masks will have giant eyelashes or giant lips. And that's our parody. Yes.
That is so interesting. Every block is a different runway. That is such a cool idea. Olivia, over to you for a minute. Tell us a little bit about the event that's happening. You are instrumental in helping plan this event at this very special location. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're really excited for this 3-day festival. So really trying to promote this opening ceremony on Friday and getting everybody down there to come and enjoy the celebration as we kick off, I think, the best weekend of the year in Santa Barbara. So we have the evening starting at 4 o'clock on Friday, full of bands, vendors. There'll be art already up in the park. We're going to try to get as many artists as we can out of the workshop, even though they're doing all their last minute details up there on Friday to really celebrate. And then Saturday, of course, will be the big day. Once the parade arrives up at the park, we have Area 51 playing, which is always a great time up there. We're bringing in some different genres this year. We're bringing in some 90s bands. Of course, reggae we'll always have up there. So just trying to create a really good, fun, family-friendly environment up at the park for everyone to come and celebrate the longest day of the year.
Okay, so in the Montecito mansion experience, Penny, can you tell us about that?
Yes, we are doing a fundraiser this weekend, tomorrow, Saturday, at a lovely private estate, and it's a celebration of art and our summer spirit, but it's going to be an art auction and a silent auction. We've got a lot of the local fine artists that have donated their works to the cause, and we've got quite a few people coming up there, and it's going to be quite elegant. There'll be guitar stylings by Kike, and just a beautiful view over the infinity pool. And we're going to create just a fun cocktail atmosphere, and there'll be inflatables and a little bit of that solstice magic. So we're hoping people come up and spend money. buy art because we're inviting all the art lovers in town. Uh, and if you haven't got a ticket yet, there may be a few left, but it is limited. And so I haven't looked at that yet today, but I'm pretty sure we're getting full. So today's the day. If you want to join, today is the day to get in your RSVP. What else can I say about it? It's just,
well, I would just add, Penny, that you know, a lot of people, they pay witness to Solstice and they know that it's this wonderful, fanciful, beautiful expression of creativity that comes barreling up formerly State Street, now Santa Barbara Street, and this wonderful festival in the park. Um, but a lot of people don't know what it takes to put it on. And, you know, it's not only, the parade is not only people powered and people created, but the whole organization is also powered by people and donors. And so we are a nonprofit and we do have to raise money to make this happen. So this is another effort along the way, and we have fundraising efforts throughout the year. But we encourage people to keep in mind that, you know, this doesn't happen on its own. It's not something that's wholly funded by sponsors or city or anything like that. We get a little bit here, we get a little bit there, but we really do rely upon the generosity of our community to help make it happen every year and to help make it extra special. So this is one way that we're doing it this Saturday, and we will continue to do that throughout the year. So we encourage you, if you love Solstice, you know, if you enjoy the parade, when the parade comes up, you'll see the pass the hat and these folks with nets. Throw a little cash in there, you know, help make this happen, because we can't do it without our community.
I think one thing that's people don't realize is that the Solstice really is key in sponsoring young artists. That there's a stipend, isn't there, Justin? So if you're or if you're an artist that needs a little help to actually participate, Solstice has a fund, don't they? Don't they have like a little?
We have several opportunities to fund all different types of artists that come into the workshop, and Penny can talk more about that. But for sure, it's, you know, if you have something in your heart that means something to you, that you want to fund, say, gosh, you know, I really love you know, funding programs for youth artists. That's something that you can give directly to. So there's all different ways that you can have a financial impact in a very specific way that's meaningful to you.
I think our friend Eric Lassen, Penny, he funded the youth artist, didn't he?
yes, Eric Lassen funded the Junior Artist Program. It was the Jethro Davis Junior Artist Program in honor of Jethro, the son of Patrick Davis, who had passed away. And so we started the fund way back then. It's been going on for more than 20 years.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Eric Lassen passed away this year, and before he wrote the check for that. And so but you know, we're as one of the nonprofits that he supported a bunch of them in town.
Yeah.
We're actually in his legacy, so that's the good news, but we're not seeing it this year. And so we're trying to fund that program specifically. We give honorariums up to $500 for youth artists, and for apprentice artists, we give up to $1,500. And so we're trying to encourage young artists to join us and people to join Claudia Bratton and other artists in the workshop who are working specifically with kids.
Right. Claudia is still with you. That's fantastic. Yeah. Richard's giving a signal. We have to go to quick break. But I wanted to do this show because I wanted to really support the 24th May event in Montecito that is going to be fantastic. And Penny, I just have to ask, is there a dress code for that event this weekend?
It's cocktail. It's elegant, and you know, Solstice cocktail for some is going to mean something different, but
It's a garden party. Yes.
Right. Got it.
Yeah, it's a lovely garden party for art.
And you know, we have been it's a small event, so if you are interested in attending, it's not something that we've posted very wide, but is it okay to give out an email address if folks want to directly inquire, Penny?
Solstice at solsticeparade.com today. We'll put you in touch with we aren't giving out the location until we have RSVPs because it is a private exclusive party. And so people have to reach out to us. So that's solstice at solsticeparade.com.
So if you love Solstice, you love a great time, and you want to hobnob in a beautiful estate and on a beautiful day and celebrate Solstice, do reach out to us and come join us.
I ask about the dress code because I remember one of my favorite events of all time was one particular white party. And I remember Claudia and Claudia's sister and myself, we all dressed up as sort of Marie Antoinette in white wigs and this sort of thing. Yeah, it was the white party. And do you remember that?
I do. Beautiful ball gowns and guys in tuxes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Okay, we'll go to quick break. We get back from the break. I want to talk a little bit more about the history of Solstice and fascinating. I want to know each particular person that's with us today, Penny and Olivia and EJ. You know, I want to know what your favorite project is with Solstice or has been with Solstice, and you know what endeavor drew you in. Particularly interested to Olivia's response because she's an event person.
Yeah.
And you know, this is our one of, I think, our best, Santa Barbara's best and most how do I say this, most descriptive event of the quintessential Santa Barbara personality. This for me, this event sums it up because you've got the real creative intellectual type, and then you've got the underpinning of this tremendously large business endeavor, which is what the parade is. I mean, there's thousands of what did we get up to at one point? The largest
100,000 people.
Yeah. And that's a huge business project. So, I mean, it's the business, it's a combination package of our the quintessential Santa Barbara personality. Richard, let's go to a quick break. When we get back from the break, we'll talk a little bit more about why Solstice is so worthy of support and why you should think about attending or even think about putting some money in the hat when it comes by at the parade. And the programs, Penny was just saying, the sponsorship of children and artistic, creative. She's got 2 levels of sponsorship that you could join, and any little bit will help as well. And you'll see, as Justin said, this is not related to any particular corporate anything. This is just not a corporate anything. Nobody's sponsoring in a corporate way, and the floats are not coming by with corporations logos on them at all. So, you know, this is it's all community fired. Okay, Richard, a quick break. We get back from the break. We'll talk a little more. Don't turn that down. Back in a sec.
All right, you are clear. The next break is coming up in 5 minutes.
What is this?
With a look at what's going on around town, here's Leanna Finley.
The Imaginary Street Painting Festival. That's going on from May 24th to the 26th at the Old Mission, Santa Barbara. There's going to be professional artists, live music and performances, food, beverage, and free admission all weekend. Also, good news, the downtown waterfront shuttle is coming back. It's going to start operations on May 30th through September 1st. The shuttle is going to operate 10 to 6 Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And the shuttle's coming back just in time for the Santa Barbara Zoo Brew, which is going to be on Saturday, June 7th, bringing beer lovers and animal lovers together since 2010. You can get your tickets at sbzoo.org.
That's a look at what's going on around town with Leanna Finley on KZSB, the station that talks about Santa Barbara.
Tell me your story.
It's the program that brings you new paradigms for a new world with your host, me, Richard Dugan. Sundays at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., Monday mornings at 1 a.m., Wednesdays at 9 a.m., and Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m. right here on your station that loves to talk about Santa Barbara as well as give you choices and knowledge of those choices. It is Tell Me Your Story. I hope that you'll go to richarddugan.com, find out more, and join us, won't you?
All right, we are coming back in 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Welcome back. It's Elizabeth Stewart, and I have the great pleasure of speaking with the gang, our people, my people at Solstice, Olivia Sorgman. I am also here with Justin Gunn, board president, Penny Little, who's been with the Solstice for as long as, I think, Penny, what was your first year?
2006, but before that, in 1997, our band, the away team, was the house band at the Sunken Garden Courthouse, and I was the producer of that aspect of the festival, and that was the first time getting really drawn in. But then when Claudia came and asked me, when I did the interview, and she asked me, "What do you think about wigs?" And I said, "Oh, I have at least 6 or 7 of them," being a performer. So she wanted to hire me on the spot as her assistant. And so it was my way of getting back into the community, because art and inspiration and creativity have always been part of my life mission, how to incite and inflame that in other people, whether it's in performance or helping them to get their thing going. It's always been part of my life mission, and our mission statement, bringing the community together through the arts, it's the big deal here. And so, yeah, my involvement turned into executive director for the last 2 years, and went through the 50th anniversary last year, and now we're cruising into 51, and I'm so excited because everything is coming together.
The poster collection that I had the honor of appraising, there was the poster with Michael's profile on it, and I thought that was so interesting. That's one of the first. Talk to us a little bit about that, Penny.
About Michael's poster? Is it the one?
No, about how this all started with Michael.
Okay, in 1974, Michael and a group of his friends decided to celebrate his birthday by going down State Street, and they were already street performers. He was a pretty well-known street performer, and I've been interviewing people and for the Legacy Project to find out what the real history is. And so I've been accumulating that information. But basically, they did that and they had fun. And it was all about dialogue and talking to people and getting people excited about what they were doing. It was a dialogue project in the beginning. And they said, let's do it again next year. And so they did it again the following year. And then I think the year after that, or a couple years after that, they united with a music festival with Michael Felcher in the Sunken Gardens, and his event was June 21st. It was on the solstice. And so they decided, well, why don't we just join forces? And so from that moment on, it had a music festival on the end of it. And a lot of times what happened was they all went through the courthouse arch and landed in the court in that giant park, and all the floats and giant puppets and all that stuff were all around there. Not the floats on the yard, but they brought the giant puppets in, and it was just a continuation of the parade. And that's something we're trying to get back to. And that's why I'm really happy that this year Olivia and our team is trying to solstify the festival again and bring it back to those original roots, but in a modern context. And so it's grown. We've changed. You opened the show with an incident that may, make people cringe, because we're family friendly. We've had to work. We have children. We have the mayor and the city council participating. And so the parade and the festival have evolved over the years. And so we do not encourage any of those kind of more risque things anymore, because
yes.
we want to have funding. It's like we have built this over the last 50 years into something really special and unique in all the world. We're one of the few places in the whole world that teaches celebration arts. How many places do this the way we do this? It's unique. And, the 2-month workshop where we mentor the public. There are so many aspects of this that are integrated into the Santa Barbara culture. The health of a community really is reflected in its celebrations. And we're one of the most joyous celebrations. We bring smiles to 100,000 people. And
Absolutely. And Olivia, I want you to pick up on that because, you've done many, many events. And so I want you to tell us what's special about Solstice for you.
Yeah, I started in the parade in the 90s. Actually, just on my desk, I found some photos.
Yeah.
And I actually found this amazing piano that was back in the parade way back then, and the bike we were talking about. But I started in the parade in the 90s. My dad was on the board, and I grew up as a kid in the workshop. So I remember being down there in the summers and running around. And the night before the parade, we do this like big thing where everybody would hold hands. And I think maybe we were lighting sage or something, but there was always like a very distinct scent that was like going around. And it was just so special to grow up around all of the arts. My favorite was my first year I was a candy, and our float was a big like candy workshop. And so we had like balls flying out of the top. We had poles that were white that would go in and then come out and look like a candy cane. We were passing out candy, and we were all dressed as candies. And one of my favorite things was I was told my dad, like, what am I gonna wear? Like, I don't know how to be a candy. And he took me into the costume area, and there were all of these sewing machines, and we still have this. It's beautiful. All these sewing machines out, and this woman just came up and started measuring me, and she was like, "Oh, I have the perfect gold sparkly fabric, and I have this other one," and she made me into one of those twist tie candies and popped me in the parade, and that was how I spent most of the 90s. And then when I was a teenager and was too cool to be in the parade, my dad told me, too bad you're going to sell t-shirts anyway. So then I sold t-shirts in my like more teenage years. And yeah, so just a really special place for me to be involved. And my dad, who was on the board, passed last year. So it's just really, really special for me to be able to be involved this year and carry on.
That is it. That's so touching. That's wow. EJ, how about you? What's your special moment?
Well, Penny mentioned the Sunken Gardens events. We used to always, the night of the parade would happen in the day, and then we'd all journey over to the Sunken Gardens for what we called the evening performance. And one year, the theme of the parade was food, and we created an entire musical theater piece with giant puppets, because that is a big stage. There's no point sticking an actor up there. No one's going to see them. It was called Killer Junk Food from Outer Space. Most of our dignitaries were dressed as hot dogs, French fries, strawberry shakes, you name it. We've still got the photographs, and it was an epic event. But last 2 years ago, the theme was roots. And I went back to my roots as a mask maker, and we did Punch and Judy. And I love the memory of the crowds interacting with all the puppets because they're big, and we go over to the crowd and talk to them. The crowd loves it. And that was a very invigorating way of bringing street theater into the parade. Loved it.
I think I remember that. I think I was a ham sandwich. I've
Yes.
got a picture. I've got a picture of me as a ham sandwich, I think. I was a ham sandwich. I can
Love that.
remember I had, like how you get the packing material, that foam that kind of looks like bread. And I happened to find somebody that bought a refrigerator or something like that, and they're throwing away that foam. And it just so happened that I found out about the junk food, the killer junk food. So I became a ham sandwich for that. So Justin, you're not going to be in the parade? You're managing it? I mean,
Yes, yeah,
what's the story?
it's the cobbler goes shoeless, right? I just looks like looks like Richard is giving us a feverish call here, so I'll keep it very short. But
Yeah, he's telling us we got to go to quick break. So let's go to quick break. When back from the break, I want to hear Justin's excuse when we
Sure.
get back. Don't turn that down. Back in a minute.
All right, you're clear. You'll have 5 minutes.
I didn't want Richard to commit Harry Carey over there, Richard.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
that-
I left that sword at home, so
It's like
I'm
that scene
safe.
in air. It's like that scene in air. Those scenes in Airplane when the guy's chewing off the other guy's ear, and he's.
I
Yeah.
think my favorite is the woman's going a little hysterical, and they have a line going to slap the woman to have her calm down.
Yeah.
Realize-
And then there's a guy back there with a pipe wrench.
Yeah.
We haven't said the date of the parade yet, and we should probably say that at least, Friday,
Yeah.
opening festival, parade at noon on Santa Barbara Street, that kind of stuff.
Okay, Penny, do
The
that.
radio
Yeah.
station used to be on Santa Barbara Street, and when they
That's right.
moved it to Santa Barbara Street, we were still there. And I thought, man, we used to have Santa Barbara Foresters baseball games, and every once in a while, those games would come about the same time, late in the afternoon, as the end of the parade, and it was like, okay, am I going to be able to get to work?
Elizabeth, if there's
Yeah.
if there is time, I would love to very briefly remind the community at large that the Solstice workshop is there specifically for them and that they should be coming. And I would like to just sort of explain how that works very briefly, because I don't think a lot of the public always understand about how to become involved at the workshop. And it's
Okay.
a huge part of it.
Yeah. And even if you don't intend to be an artist, if you're just art curious, come on down and take a
Okay,
tour.
coming
and meet
back,
the
and you
artists.
have 4 minutes, 45 seconds in 3, 2, 1. You are live.
Welcome back. Justin, you were just saying something during the break that's sort of important about, and EJ was as well, about the importance of the community workshop. And I wonder if you'd continue that thought.
Sure. I'll let EJ chime in on this, but it's important to know that our workshop is officially open as of last Saturday. And, even if you aren't inclined to become an artist and to get paint on your hands, but you're art curious, we really encourage the community to come on down and just see what's going on down there. You were asking folks what kind of experience they first had with Solstice. And for me, it was really just coming down to that workshop for the very first time and witnessing just the joy and the community and the creativity. It's like a big candy store. And even if you aren't inclined to say, hey, I want to build a float, or I want to, build a mask or dance or join a troupe, just come on down and check it out. It is so fun, and you will be welcomed with open arms. And you never know, you just might get inspired.
So, and Penny, give us the dates here. And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, June 21st on the actual solstice is the parade at noon at Santa Barbara and Ortega Streets. And the festival opens Friday, June 20th at 4 p.m. in Alameda Park. And that's our opening ceremony. It goes till 9 p.m. There's food, all the vendors. And then Saturday after the parade, of course, the festival continues in the park until 8 p.m. And then Sunday, again, we have Reggae Sunday. So come on down for the festival after the parade. Sunday is if it's too exciting for you on Saturday, come on down on Friday or Sunday, because Friday used to be more like locals night. We ease into the festival. Sunday, come on down, dance, enjoy.
And I just wanted to add that, the festival is continuing to grow, especially under Olivia's leadership. It really is becoming much more artful and with lots of interactive art experiences and fun things to do. Wonderful food vendors, terrific vendors of all kinds, terrific music. And it is really just a very family friendly, we like to say it's appropriate for kids of all ages.
Yes. And we have the Funtopia Zone and the children's stage. And so it's actually the Santa Barbara Bowl community stage, which features young performers, families, friendly entertainment, performers for youth. So that's on Saturday and Sunday only from noon to 6 p.m. So bring your kids on down.
But come on down to the workshop starting today. There's no time like now.
Come after work, come when school gets out. We're open till 8 o'clock weekdays. So come and check out the times. Weekends 12 till 6.
Located on the corner of Garden and Ortega at the Community Arts Workshop. You can't miss the big David Shelton iron, beautiful artistic gates.
And I understand from EJ that you don't necessarily have to have like a whole plan in your head.
Absolutely.
That you can go ahead, EJ.
Yeah, come on down and you can get a tour. That's a wonderful thing to do right there. Just be shown around. Please wear closed-toe shoes. No flip-flops. It's dangerous otherwise. We'll give you a tour. You'll see people you know. It's Santa Barbara. And that's what's so wonderful. People don't have to get involved big time. You might have muscles. We might need your power tools, your sweat, or your enthusiasm. Just come on down and see what we're doing.
And it's absolutely free. So, you know, that you're not out of pocket. You're just coming down. And Olivia, you were about to say, Penny, you're about to say something.
The parade and festival are absolutely free. The workshop, there's a nominal fee, but we do have community service hours and you get a very small fee. Scholarships.
Excellent. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you. And we'll see you at the parade. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you are clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Elizabeth.
I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link, Penny.
Come and say hi at the workshop, Elizabeth.
I will.